All right. We are live. We are live. We are live. This is Soapbox Heroes. We got a little bit of. Today we are going to talk about Kanye West and his latest visit to the White House. Before we do that, we are going to set up with some context so you can see what happens. Take a second, watch this if you haven't, watch it again if you had. While you're watching, take the time to invite a few people. Here we go. Soapbox Heroes. We will be back in about 9 minutes. But watch, invite, add your part.
Prison him is because he started doing positive for the community. He started showing that he actually had power, that he wasn't just one of a monolithic voice, but he could wrap people around. So there's theories that there's infinite amounts of universe and there's alternate universe. So it's very important for me to get Hoover out because in an alternate universe, I am him. And I have to go and get him free because he was doing positive inside of Chicago, just like how I'm moving back to Chicago. And it's not just about, getting on stage and being an entertainer and having a monolithic voice that's forced to be a specific party. People expect that if you're black, you have to be Democrat. I've had conversations that basically said that welfare is the reason why a lot of black people end up being Democrat. They say, first of all, it's a limit to amount of jobs. So the fathers lose the jobs and they say, we'll give you more money for having more kids in your home. And then we got rid of the mental health institutes in the 80s and the 90s, and the prison rates just shot up. And now you have Chirac, what people call Chirac, which is actually our murder rate is going down by 20% every year. I just talked to the superintendent, met with Michael Sachs, that's Rom's right-hand man. So I think it's the bravery that helps you beat this game called life. They tried to scare me to not wear this hat. My own friends, but this hat, it gives me power in a way. My dad and my mom separated, so I didn't have a lot of male energy in my home. And also, I'm married to a family that, not a lot of male energy going on. It's beautiful, though. But there's times where, it's something about, I love Hillary. I love everyone, right? But the campaign, I'm with her, just didn't make me feel as a guy that didn't get to see my dad all the time, like a guy that could play catch with his son. It was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cape for me also as a guy that looks up to you, looks up to Ralph Lauren, looks up to American industry guys. Non-political, no bullshit, put the beep on it, however you want to do it, 5 seconds delay, and just goes in and gets it done, right? You have to bring manufacturing onshore, not even shore, into the core. It's not about the borders, the core of Adidas. And Chicago is the core of Middle America. We have to make Middle America strong. So I had the balls, because I had enough balls to put on this hat. This Adidas thing made me a billionaire. And I could have lost $200 million walking away from that deal. But even with that, I knew it was more important for me to take the chance of walking away from that deal than to have no fathers in Chicago with no homes. And when we do have prison reprobation, because it's habilitation, not rehabilitation, because we didn't have the abilities in the first place. We never had anyone that taught us, who didn't teach us. Exactly, we had no one that taught us, right? So it's more important than any specific deal, anything, that we bring jobs into America and that we provide a transition with mental health and the American education curriculum that Jim has worked on. Larry Hoover also has a curriculum that he's worked on. We have Montessori curriculums that we worked on. WeWorks has a beautiful curriculum. The Waldorf establishment has a curriculum. We have meditation. There's a lot of things affecting our mental health that makes us do crazy things, that puts us back into that trap door called the 13th Amendment. I did say abolish with the hat on, because why would you keep something around that's a trap door? If you build in a floor, the Constitution is the base of our industry, right? Of our country, of our company. Would you build a trap door that if you mess up and you accidentally something happens, you fall and you end up next to the Unabomber? You got to remove all that trap door out of the relationship. The 4 gentlemen that wrote the 13th Amendment And I think the way the universe works, it's perfect. We don't have 13 floors, do we? So the four gentlemen that wrote the 13th Amendment didn't look like the people they were amending. Also, at that point, it was illegal for blacks to read or African Americans to read. And so that meant if you actually read the amendment, you get locked up and turned to a slave. Again, so what I think is we don't need sentences, we need pardons. We need to talk to people. To NBC, I was very emotional, and I was programmed to think from a victimized mentality, a welfare mentality. I think that with blacks and African Americans, we really get caught up in the idea of racism over the idea of industry. We say if people don't have land, they settle for brands. We want Polo Sport and Obama again. We want a brand more than we want land because we haven't known how it feels to actually have our own land and have ownership of our own blocks. So when you don't have ownership, then it's all about how something looks. It's about the patina. It's not about the soil. It's not about the core. So we focus more on, is somebody wearing something? Does someone disrespect me so I gotta shoot them? Or the idea of someone being racist. We talk about police murders, which we definitely have to discuss, and we have to bring nobility to the police officers and make them, because police officers are just like us. But this is this whole hate building, right? And that's a major thing about racial tension. And we also, as black people, we have to take a responsibility for what we're doing. We kill each other more than police officers. And that's not saying that the police officer is not an issue, because they are in a position of power throughout the entire country and give opportunities. A lot of times it's just the overall lack of reparations that we, at any given point, we say, oh, this is racist, this is racist, this is racist, this is racist. So we don't have the reparations, but we have the 13th Amendment. We got to open up the whole conversation. So, and that's a move. One of the moves that I love that liberals tried to do, the liberal would try to control a black person through the concept of racism because they know that we are very proud, emotional people. So when I said I like Trump to like someone that's liberal, they'll say, oh, but he's racist. You think racism can control me? Oh, that don't stop me. That's an invisible wall.
Mr. West, what were you in Chicago?
The thing that the head of the police and Mike Sachs met with me last night at the Soho House about was we feel that stop and frisk does not help the relationships in the city. And everyone that knew I was coming here asked about stop and frisk. That's the number one thing that we're having this conversation about. You know what I don't like about, it's not that I don't like, what I need Saturday Night Live to improve on, or what I need the liberals to improve on is, if he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes, the best factories, and we have to make our core be empowered. We have to bring jobs into America because our best export is entertainment and ideas. But when we make everything in China and not in America, then we're cheating on our country. And we're putting people in positions to have to do illegal things to end up in the cheapest factory ever, the prison system.
Well, we're going to look at it. I'm open to everything. Hey, look, I think it's a shame what's happening in Chicago. I'm in Chicago a lot, too. I have nice things in Chicago. You know that, right? And I hate to see what's happening. They're having numbers of people being shot and killed, and it's not for this country. So they have to do something, and I am totally open. If we can do it a different way, Kanye, I'm totally open. But they have to do, I mean, we all agree they have to do something, that's
Mr.
for sure.
President, is it a law enforcement issue, a legislation?
Well, maybe it's a
legislative
combination
issue?
of both. Yeah, I guess it is, but I think it's probably a combination of both. Bunch of two people that I like, and I guess they like me. And we're gonna have lunch, we're gonna talk.
You said, I guess you know I love you.
I know.
Did I?
But I don't want to put you in that spot. But
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Come here. That's really nice. And that's from the heart. I didn't want to put you in that position, but that's from the heart. Special guy.
Wow.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? My name is Tyrone Irvin. This is Soapbox Heroes. Today we are going to be talking about Kanye West and his latest visit to the White House. This topic has been all over social media, all over the regular media. You go to work, you hear about it. You go to the store, you hear about it. There's a whole bunch of different conflicting viewpoints on it. So what we decided to do was get some people here today, and we're going to go over it. We're going to discuss some of these viewpoints, see what we come up with. We have 3 people now. We're also going to have a few people join in with us later. If you want to join in, go ahead and let us know. Let us know. And Daryl Douglas II will be trolling the comments. And if you need to get put in or you want to get put in, he'll contact you and put you in. If you got a comment that you want read, go ahead and put your comments. We encourage comments. We encourage community aspect of it. We want to talk. We want everybody to be heard. So again, we're going to talk about Kanye West. I'm sitting here in the White House today. You guys didn't know I was at the meeting? Nah, I'm just playing. I mean, nobody believe that anyway. That was terrible, terrible joke. Let me start over. But anyway, we're going to take a second and we're going to introduce everybody, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it just a little bit. Prince, you're the biggest person on my personal screen. You want to take a second to introduce yourself, let everybody know where you're from?
Yo, Prince Hayes, hailing from Long Beach, California.
Prince from Long Beach, California. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. B, you want to take a second and introduce yourself, let everybody know where you're from?
Yes, B from Louisville, Kentucky.
From Louisville, Kentucky. You're not going to tell us about your blog? Don't be
Oh, well,
quiet on
hey,
yourself.
look, I didn't want, promote too much up front, but yes, please join us at 910 Juicy Truth. Myself and Glow, she's on the line as well.
Hey,
Come see us on Facebook.
you can promote whatever you want. We like promotion. We like what do they call it when people drop names or whatever? Go on and drop it. That's what we here for. Glow. Hi,
I
Glow.
am. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
calling from.
You want to take a second and introduce yourself, especially since you have the anonymity of not showing your face today. You're gonna have to describe where you coming from pretty good.
Well, by my voice, you won't be able to tell where I'm from. But I'm in Mississippi. I can't show y'all me today. I ain't got my hair on right now. Y'all gonna have to take me like this.
We can take you like that. We appreciate it. We got one more person. I can't see your name. It went away. You want to introduce yourself? The Batman shirt. As soon as you start talking, I'm gonna know what your name is. Let's see. I think you got your microphone muted.
There we go.
Manuel.
Yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm currently residing in New Orleans. I guess Atlanta's home for me. So, yeah, it's going. I'm claiming Atlanta today.
You claiming Atlanta, but you in New Orleans?
That's not where I'm born, but that's home.
All right. Hey, I'm not too far from you. I'm in Houston. Maybe we could go hang out one day.
All right.
All right, everybody. Well, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We showed a clip of the meeting, and what I tried to do was I couldn't show the totality of the meeting because it's over a 20-minute meeting. So, but I did try to give people all the substance part and the part that people were arguing back and forth over, just to be fair. But I tried to make everything in its full context. So I guess my first question is this, and I'll start with you, Prince. I've heard a lot of people say Kanye embarrassed us when he went to the White House. And feel free, this is going to be one of them, it's going to be a little bit looser on the rules, but we're not going to disrespect each other. So if somebody want to interject, go ahead and interject. Manuel, if you got enough wine for yourself, you got to have enough wine for everybody else.
Oh shit! Look, I got the wine. I got the kettle one. Like what y'all want? Like what we doing? It's a social event.
Social event. Well, let's social. Well, let's get it. Prince, what do you think?
Yes.
Did Kanye West embarrass us?
No. I mean, he didn't embarrass us because he don't represent all black people. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to shy away from statements that just like include like all black people. You know what I mean? But no matter even if it don't matter if he went up there and he did a good job and he I mean, I'm not saying he did a good or a bad job. I'm just saying if we as a collective felt like he did a good job, it's gonna be people that's gonna try to turn that around because that's what they do anytime black people go up and say that they representing black people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s they was trying to use clips of Malcolm X and was saying he was embarrassing black people too. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. So no, but I don't think he embarrassed black people as a whole at all.
Flo, do you think that he embarrassed black people?
I think you look like a damn fool. I hate that hat.
You hate his hat? So did he?
I said I think he looks like a damn fool. I hate his hat. He is very embarrassing.
He is very embarrassing. All right, Glow
Yes.
says very embarrassing. Manuel, what do you think? Did Kanye West embarrass us at the White House?
Kanye more so embarrassed himself in moments. You know what I mean? Because with most of what he had to say, you can't disagree with most of what he's had to say. I mean, as a black person, 80% of what he had to say, you really can't disagree with. So I guess if you're going to say it's embarrassing, sitting across from 45, a lot of people don't believe he should even be in that room. I mean, some people are going to look at that as an embarrassment, but I personally, I don't look at it as an embarrassment on me. You know what I'm saying? He embarrassed himself, if anything.
All right, what do you think, B? Did he embarrass himself? Did he embarrass black people in the whole?
See, that's the problem. We would like to say he embarrassed himself, but as you are speaking, and as a lot of people have spoken, he is speaking for the general black public. Even though we don't want to acknowledge and generalize ourselves, he is speaking for us. And that was my problem. I don't necessarily feel like he embarrassed us, but I do feel like he should have spoken with someone prior to going to the meeting because
Hold on, B. Somebody got a lot of
Somebody got some
backfeed.
feedback.
I think you got some backfeed, Roger.
And that's my problem. I don't necessarily
Here, one sec.
myself.
Okay, go ahead. I think we good. How you doing, Roger? We glad to have you, man.
What's good?
What's good? What's good? I'm glad you got on, man. We always love hearing from you. Roger,
I want to know what he said that was so embarrassing.
It wasn't what he
really
said, I
anything
think.
Confusion, and you didn't really have too many. You had some valid points, yes, but I'm sorry, Glo, go ahead, baby.
There was no stream in it. He jumped from topic to topic first, and then he screamed that crap that all them. He screamed the same stuff that we're fed about from other people to us.
Exactly.
We need to work on killing ourselves. So does everybody.
Wait. Hold on. I remember when he said that part, but that's like 10% of the entire dialogue. He also went to shut down Stop and Frisk. Like he also spoke about Stop and Frisk. He also spoke like he hit so many key issues.
Yes, but
So
it
it's
don't
like,
matter that one. He sounds so retarded from jump. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tuned in and tuned him out. He don't make no sense to me. That was retarded.
He don't make
Can
no
I?
sense. All right, hold
Can
on,
I?
hold on, Prince. Let's let Roger get in here because we never asked him the original question just so he'll have the same baseline. I know Roger was like, y'all skipped me. Roger, did Kanye West embarrass black people?
I don't think he embarrassed black people. I think he embarrassed himself, and he undermines. He works in a sector that undermines black people. So I don't think he embarrassed us. I think he embarrassed himself, and he is in a realm where he's just he's working counter to what we're trying to do. Black empowerment,
Counterproductive. Yeah.
progression.
All right,
Very much so.
Prince, what were you gonna
I,
say?
I was gonna say that I think that because it's like funny. I was talking to my cousin about this earlier, just randomly, and the thing I think that was embarrassing, and this is what I think most people are turned off by, most black people, right? Is that he has on that hat. To be honest with you, because no, and I'm not, it's gonna sound petty, but it is what it is. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Thing I said. It's the
Yeah,
first
that's
thing
the
I
first
said,
thing
baby.
Glow said.
Exactly.
The hat
So
says
to my
America.
point. So to my point, if you had it like when he first had on the hat, when I first saw him in the hat, me personally, I didn't give a fuck. Cause like that, I don't care if you have on a fucking MAGA hat or whatever the case may be. Like that shit don't instantly turn me off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what that shit like, but I got I don't see things like the way most people do. So when I saw the hat, I was like, it is what it is, right? Like I was actually defending him at first. But what happened was that when like I told my cousin today, I was like, dude, if he really trying to get across to black people and work in our favor, like Roderick was saying, he's working in these spaces where it makes him look like it ends up undermining the very things he's trying to get done by having literally just by having on that hat though, if you think about it. Because the shit he's saying, like Manuel was saying, you can't say that it's like not the truth or not stuff that us as black people talk about all the time, right? Like I hear black people say we got to take responsibility for ourselves, and we say that shit all the fucking time, right? And we say we got to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and all that, all that stuff, right? So I don't see like why that's a problem. I don't see why him talking about stop and frisk. Granted, he was on some major Kanye rant shit for sure. He was in rare form that day. He was super geeked.
Man.
I don't know if the meds was on, but just the bits and pieces that you could kind of like separate from what he was saying, they were kind of like, they were like he was speaking his truth, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna come down on him too hard for that.
All right, hey, Manuel. Oh, no, go ahead, B. And after that, I was going to ask Manuel if he's undermining his message by the hat. Go ahead, B.
What was I saying? Hold on. What
Oh,
was
you
I
weren't
about?
going.
I don't know if I was.
Oh, you weren't saying nothing. I'm sorry. I thought I heard.
No,
your
I
voice.
was agreeing with the young man. Yes. I was just in agreement. Yeah.
Prince, you got one strike. You got somebody that agree with you. You in the lead. Manuel.
All right. So, okay,
Hey.
I'll say this: the hat definitely undermines his position. Cause yeah, the moment you see that shit, it was like on that show, 90 Day Fiance, when the big heavyset white woman put the red hat on the Nigerian, and he puts it on. It's like, nah, bro. However, Kanye, what he tries to do, people gotta look at him. He doesn't operate in a vacuum that most of us operate in. You know what I'm saying? And so he's always going to come from an abstract vantage point. This isn't excusing behavior. This is explaining behavior. He's always trying to approach something from a creative perspective, because that's how he's broken open doors all his life, from a creative perspective. So he puts on the hat, but if you pay attention to him at the end, he's like, and the hat says "Make America Great," because black people have been saying ever since we've seen the "Make America Great Again." What is again? Is again slavery? Is again segregation? Is again the civil rights movement. When was America great? So he's trying to flip it, but it's not quite working because all we see is the red hat. He looking like a Mario brother in there with a goddamn red hat on, and it's not a good look.
I don't even think he's trying to flip it.
It's all the way at the end where he explains the red hat, and then he said it was like a superhero thing, and that's not a good look. Like, nah, bro, you a superhero thing because of the red cat because you ain't have no dad. I mean, it's
I don't even think he's
Kanye's just a different dude.
Really.
Go ahead, Roger.
And I mean to interrupt you, bro. I don't think he's trying to flip, and I think he Kooning hard in the mud. And he knows he looking janky, and so he like, let me see if I can clean this up because I know a bunch of black people and they gonna look at me crazy. So, you know, and you gotta understand he's also in a household full of Trump supporters. Them Kardashians support Trump. Bruce Jenner, he's a Trump supporter. As strange as that may be, he is.
Roderick, can I ask you a question? What makes you think that all the Kardashians support Trump?
Okay. There now, and Kim has in the past said some janky stuff. She got the over it kind of stuff. Like she was the man who had been saying some racist, tried to like bring him out and tell black people they need to forgive him or some shit. Like it's real janky. She on some janky shit. And Kanye, that's his wife. He's in a house full of them, and they making tea. You see what I'm saying? Like they, you know, he's there. He's falling in the darkness. And
So you basically saying you saying the
Maybe
Kardashians are forming Kanye West's thoughts, that he's not forming his own thoughts?
Okay,
No,
so what did he say?
I'm saying Kanye right at home. He got on that dance shoes. He's on the train. He's dancing with Shirley Cotton Field. He's doing that. He's there. He's just trying to.
What did he say though? What did he say that was so wrong in that rant? I'm not understanding what he said that was wrong. Like you know
when he said Trump was his daddy. Hey, when he said Trump was his daddy and he said the red hat made him feel like a superhero, that was fucking retarded all day.
Yeah, but no, I'm okay. So that's
But then
he's
on
talking
top of
his
that,
feelings.
the rhetoric.
What did he say that was wrong? Like what?
That was wrong, nigga. Trump ain't his daddy. Nigga, daddy is somebody else.
He said he's like his father figure. He said he's like his father figure. Hey, hold on, Glow.
Nah, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. That's not what he said. He said he looked up to the guy. He said he didn't have a father. I'm telling you, this dude, look at what he said. This dude went right at the 13th Amendment. He went right at the 13th Amendment and broke that shit down. And nobody's talking about the 13th Amendment. The 13th
They
Amendment
got a whole
is
movie
literally
about the 13th Amendment.
But no, that 13th Amendment, what he's talking about, that trap door, there ain't a black person in America that ought not look at the 13th Amendment right now. Google it. And you read that 13th
He's talking
Amendment
about
out loud.
abolishing it, not amending it.
No.
He tried to walk it back, but he said, "Nah, I'm gonna abolish it."
He said it needs to be abolished because if you read the 13th Amendment, it's not about abolishing slavery. It's about abolishing it in its entirety. Because what it says specifically is that if you are black and slavery is over, unless you commit a crime. Yeah. That's what it clearly says. I have it verbatim. If you commit a crime, it's okay to enslave you. That's written. That's written. That's fucked up. Like,
let's talk about what's written, right? Why
Go ahead, Roger.
To abolish slavery, right? So if it's to abolish slavery, and you got that other part in there that's like that is the trap door.
That's what's right.
And you get rid of that part because if there's
it wasn't.
It can happen again. Who's to say they abolish the 13th Amendment and say, all right, niggas, y'all slaves? Like,
why are we getting? Hold on, wait, real quick. We get caught up in the semantics though. Don't get caught up in the abolish or amend or whatever. He basically just saying The shit. Go ahead, lady. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead, B.
I want to say something. Everybody needs to stop because, like you just said, don't get caught up in the semantics. This fool ain't talk to nobody. Who does he actually represent? Like I said, he's up here, y'all debating what the man's talking about as the black community. He should have talked to some people who did shit every day. He need to get with the right people before you go up here spouting your goddamn mouth in front of business people who as a crazy man because you're not up here talking business. That's the problem. We arguing silly ass shit. Just he's arguing silly ass shit up here on no moves, Kanye. Sit back, shut the fuck up. I either come up here with a plan, talk about you gonna do this step by step. You can't go talk to no businessman like that. Like with on some emotional shit. Like I don't understand it. It's like y'all sitting here arguing about it. It's not emotional. It's
Kanye is a businessman. First of all, hold on, Noel. Let me say this.
But did he talk to the black community? Did he talk to those who are in the black community every day? Like y'all just said, Kanye's caught up with the Kardashians. He's not living this life no more. He needs to talk to the people who are on the ground, grassroots every day.
How do we know he talking to every day?
He actually did say he talked to the superintendent, so he is talking to the people that's on the front line. He said that. So
in his community, Prince, too.
You said what? I'm sorry, B. What you said?
And that's one thing I would give him credit for. He was talking about things that was going on in his Chicago community, and I respected that. And that's what I get from it. But there's certain things like about Larry Hoover and shit. What Larry Hoover gonna do when he get out?
But Larry Hoover is a political prisoner, though, that should be freed. It don't matter what he's going to do when he get out. If you was Larry Hoover, you would be like, thank God for somebody recognizing I need to be let out of prison.
Who might take precedence over
Hold on, stop him.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead, my well then Glove. I want you to jump in if you got something on your mind.
But it did involve him.
Wait, stop and frisk is not something for the Chicago community alone. Stop and frisk is in New York. Stop and frisk is in Philly. Stop and frisk is in D.C. Stop and frisk is in Atlanta. Stop and frisk is in Houston. Stop and frisk is in L.A. This shit is in every major black community in every city with a major black populace. They are stopped. The motherfucker Philando Castile, he was stopped, frisked, and choked to death.
Okay, 1 point.
Okay, let's go. No, I can walk all this back. I'm telling you, every single point he hit, he didn't miss it. The only way he got left is talking about factories and manufacturing and shit. That's a bit much. But when you talk about, he talked about police brutality. He talked about getting the situations rectified between them. He talked about reparations. I ain't heard one black person.
Where's the plan?
He mentioned reparations.
Moel, hold up. Can I also say this though? He also invited tons of black people to come with him, and all of them declined. So you can't get mad at him. He stuck out his hand and said, "Hey, who want to come?" And hold on, time out. And all T.I., who I like, T.I. declined. T.I. come out with a video depicting Trump's wife as a hoe, right? Okay, cool. And I ain't defending her at all because I don't give a fuck about that lady. But T.I. didn't have the energy to go in the White House and say it with his chest to the president. Instead, he made a video to diss his wife behind his back. Now we up here talking about Kanye doing this shit for publicity. Now what the fuck is T.I. doing it for then? Like I don't understand. If we gonna talk this shit, let's keep it 100. And that's the thing that for me, that's my biggest problem with all of this stuff is this should be a learning tool about a bigger issue. Yeah. It ain't about just Kanye though. I don't agree with everything Kanye did or said or how he's going about it. But if you gonna shit on Kanye, then you gotta shit on Jay-Z, you gotta shit on Beyonce, you gotta shit on P. Diddy, you gotta shit on all them niggas out here, Koonye. You can't just shit on them.
Only person showed up with him was the one person who's been showing up to presidents for like the last 50 years, Jim Brown. Him and Jim Brown. That's it.
That's it.
So let's
Okay.
Where Jesse Williams at? Where's all the rest of the motherfuckers? Like they weren't there.
Ebro said Kaepernick wasn't gonna go. He said, "Nah, I told him no." Like on Kaepernick's behalf. I'm like, why? Like this the man that's been talking all this crazy shit to Cap. Why wouldn't Cap want to go meet him face to face and be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm.
All right, you guys. Let's let Roger jump in. I see Roger got something to say. Go ahead, Roger.
That's true, B. That's true.
Do y'all think that this was even a meeting though? I mean, at the end of the whole thing, Trump said,
"No, it wasn't a meeting.
See this as lunch." and that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. Now that's where he embarrassed us. That's where he embarrassed us because it wasn't no meeting. This was all Trump's little. See, I had a conversation with one of them. I'm doing them a favor. That's really what it was. I'm just saying that Kanye didn't say anything wrong, but the whole Sambo idea, he was a prop in that moment, and he gonna find out later on. He gonna find out in the next 6 months and the next year, bro. You was pretty much a prop. You know what I'm saying? They was just using you to say, look, we tried. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it was. So that wasn't a real movie.
Okay,
also,
go ahead. And I got a question after that.
okay, but also like, okay, that was just a lunch, and then on top of that, you got the man begging and confused, and you know he's giving out factoids, but in a Fox Newsian kind of way. Like it was I don't know, it was just kind of bad, man. Like it was like most of the stuff that he said, the people that are supporting him are, you know, at least trying to make it where he's not a coon, or kind of filling in the blanks for him. That's how I feel about it. I feel like people are filling in the blanks and saying, well, he's right about blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, he didn't say that. He didn't say all of that. You know, it's just.
One of the, I only use his words. Now, I will say,
it's misinformed on how white supremacy works. And what,
but he told you he don't care about racism, though. He told you he's beyond racism, which is always crazy to say as a black person.
All right, hold on, you guys. Let me.
He's right now eating nuts.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Let's say that he was
a crumb.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Let's say he's cooning or kissing butt or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Is it possible that he's doing that playing a political game? Is that possible? Glow, nope. You still there? We ain't heard from you in a minute.
Possibly.
Well, what do you? Okay, when you say he's playing the political game, you mean trying to put himself in a position to run for some significant office at some point?
No, when I say a political game, I say the same way that lobbyists go and lobby Congress, the way that lobbying works. Mm-hmm. They go in, they pretend they like somebody, they kiss their butt, and then they ask for something.
Okay.
Is it possible that Kanye was doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, because let me tell you what he said. He said it. He said it specifically. He said specifically, he mentioned Adidas, right? And how many times did he drop that tax break line in there? He mentioned Ford. And how many times did he drop them tax breaks lines in there? I absolutely think that he went in there thinking, all right, I'm going to go in here and kind of finesse this a little bit. I'm going to talk business a little bit, and we can get these tax breaks because this is a conservative president and a billionaire, and you know them motherfuckers believe in tax breaks all day long.
But Manuel, Trump just signed a $2 trillion tax break, another one on top of the one he already signed while all this Kanye shit was going down. So he already got all the tax breaks in the world. Like, that's not what he went in there for. That's not what I believe he went in there for. I think he went in there to say his piece, and he invited a gang of black people to come, right? He really tried to get a lot of people to come with him. So all this shit we saying about why he didn't talk to this person, he did. He talked to all of them. He invited them all to come. All of them declined, and he had to go. So he ended up showing up. And then Kanye's not the smartest person. He ain't stupid, but Kanye's not the smartest person. He's not the most informed person. So he went in there and he just talked like a normal. The funny thing about all of this is that the same shit that got Trump elected, right? One of the major reasons why Trump got elected, just listening to his constituency, was he sounds like us, quote unquote, right? Kanye went in there and he sounded like a lot of niggas I talk to every day. So I didn't understand. I'm like, what is niggas so mad? Like, bro, I talk to ignorant people every day, dude. They sound just like Kanye for the most part. The only difference is they don't have on that fucking hat, and they don't say that Trump is their daddy. That's literally the only difference that I could think of. The same shit he be talking, the same way he was talking, people talk the same way.
All right, look, go ahead.
He went. Let me tell you and this is my biggest criticism of Kanye of everything. He starts out now. Y'all mentioned the Larry Hoover thing, right? Right. This motherfucker starts out like this. He says, Larry Hoover, he's in jail for, some trumped up charges, and, a person that's black, whenever they're doing something good in the black community, they end up in jail. And we know that. They end up in jail or dead. You doing too much positivity, they're going to get you out of there. But where he goes wrong, this motherfucker starts talking about multiverses and infinite universes, and then in another universe, he'd be Larry Hoover while he trying to save him. That's where Kanye loses 90% of people. The minute he jumps into a tangent like that, it's like, what the hell is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? So when he did that, I had to duck out for a second. I'm like, hold on, what is this dude? He going off on this tangent about multiverses and shit. So
Medication. He need medication.
Wasn't
That's
right
what
that
I'm gonna
day.
tell you. As a trained professional, medical professional, he need medication. That's all I'm gonna say. Before you go talk to the president, you take your damn meds, okay? And you go talk to somebody.
All right,
Hey,
you guys,
the president is on meds too, though. Quiet is kept.
all right, and that's one of the comments that I got. It says, "How do you send a crazy person to talk to a crazy person? You guys are acting like we have a rational president." And then
I'm not acting like. Hold on, time out. Whoever said that, I love you for saying that. First of all, second of all, I do not fucking think Trump is rational. Trump is fucking batshit crazy. And Kanye is, and we up here talking about if you gonna sit here and tell me with a straight face that Trump is a businessman, then Kanye is fucking Lex Luthor. Then that nigga is the top of all businessmen then compared to Trump, because Trump ain't earned a goddamn penny. That nigga Kanye is black and came from nothing, and a nigga worth $1 billion or close to it, and his company is at least. Trump ain't worth that. I mean, this is my personal opinion just from all the research I've ever done on Trump. That motherfucker ain't worth $1 billion. He ain't no billionaire. Trump worth some $100 millions just like Kanye, but Kanye got his money on his own, and he didn't have to use tax evasion and tax fraud.
Right.
So the only real businessman in that room that didn't get their money through politics or cheating the system was Kanye. So to me, he earned the right to say whatever the fuck he wanted to say in that room. And they could have went in there and took a shit on that desk, as far as I'm concerned.
all right, and I got a comment from Wayne. I got a comment from Wayne Gardner. He says, "I find all this to be extremely fun. The problem is that we have to stop thinking because you can rap or play a sport or any famous name, you should represent the entire black race. What makes Kanye qualified to speak for people?"
Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm going to attack that. Kanye clearly said that he's not a monolith and we're not a monolith. He clearly said those words.
He did
and
say
he said
that, yes.
oftentimes when one black person speaks, that all black people feel like, okay, he's trying to speak for me. Like, that's not the case. He's just speaking from what he knows that people are speaking to him and what he sees. He's not speaking for all black people.
Talk anything.
And he used the same thing when he said, like they say, all black people are Democrats. Most black people I personally know half of them don't vote. Half of them don't care about no damn Democrat or Republican. So you can't say that the man is speaking for everybody, because he doesn't speak for me. So he doesn't. Like, he don't speak for everybody.
Is there
Most
some
black
things
people
that
that
he's
do
saying
vote
that he's
are
speaking from
Democrats,
you?
though.
Manuel, is he saying anything for you?
There's a few things he said that speak clearly for me, but it wasn't everything he had to say. It's impossible.
Roderick, why is he cooning?
Okay, we out here parsing and separating the stuff. Well, this part is good, and all of it is together. That when he started talking about Trump with his daddy and black people are Democrats because of welfare and all that bullshit, like that came from Fox News. He was
No, it didn't.
with Bruce
So,
Jenner
hey,
and
Roger,
Kim,
some of that
like,
is true.
Kanye, blacks are Democrats because of welfare.
Black people are Democrats. But hold on, if we're gonna be real, black people are Democrats for a specific reason, and one of the reasons was because of what LBJ did in the '60s, right? So don't act like it's not.
Wait. So let's get that out the way. Hold on, I'm gonna come right to you, Roger. We're gonna pick it up right there. Was Kanye right when he said that a lot of black people are Democrats because of welfare? Let's parse it and figure out what's true and what's not. What do you
I
think,
disagree
Roger?
with that. I believe there's a historic reason for that. You know, you're dealing with the civil rights movement and all that stuff, and you got generations of people that are Democrats based off of that. They don't have a lot of black folks that do vote don't really even they're not really on no welfare. There's a lot of black folks that don't vote and don't care about none of this shit that's on welfare. I mean, if we being real and we talking about being honest, like I mean,
That's a
for
good
no
point.
party.
Yeah, I
What'd you
know.
say?
Most people who vote in general don't belong to any party, right? That's the first step. But then but like I said, you might like Kanye was wrong in the respect that black people are Democrats because of welfare. That's disrespectful. That's not why black people are Democrats. Like I'm saying, like if we have to create like a pie of why black people, a pie chart of why black people are Democrats, that wouldn't be the biggest part of it, right? The biggest part of it is though what LBJ did, and when he signed the in 1968 when he signed the Civil Rights Act, right? Like that's what got black people to be Democrat for 100 fucking years, and LBJ called it in 1965, right? So we can't act like black people are Democrats just based on some shit that happened in 1965, because that's the truth. Black people are Democrats because of that one fucking move. Because the truth of the matter is that the point Kanye was trying to make is that Democrats don't do shit for black people, which is true. You can't argue with that shit. They don't do shit for black people.
They try to placate to the circumstances we're in based on the racial history of this country. So they placate. That's what he was speaking on.
And that's what he said. Yep.
And Democrats placate to that specifically. They don't fuck with us. They fuck with you, but they don't fuck with you. Like, don't ever get this misconstrued. They don't care. So he didn't flip around. He didn't flip around and say Republicans do either. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he said, well, they do and they don't. He just said, hey, they play you based on what they know they got to say to play you. You know, they ain't necessarily for us.
He did say we should be Republican though, that's some more Coon shit.
I can't. I don't.
Cool.
What do Republicans
why
do
is
for
that?
black people? They don't do nothing.
You're right, but why? But okay. So my point is, which I was saying before, if Kanye is a coon for telling black people to be Republican, then P Diddy is a coon for telling us to fucking vote for Hillary, and so is Jay-Z, and so is Beyonce, right? That's my point. So you can't. So
Okay,
he can.
yeah.
Why can't Kanye say black people be Republican? And I'm not saying that because I believe in Republicans, because Republicans are fucking terrible, right? Like that's obvious. That's not what I'm saying, right? I'm just making the point that
Man,
if
it's
you
the
gonna
same
say
bird.
Kanye's a coon for saying we should be Republican, then you got to say all of them are coons for going with either party.
Not really.
None of the parties give a fuck
Not
about
really.
us, right?
Not really.
Go ahead, Roger.
Because context matters. Like we just discussed, a lot of black folks became Democrats based on the Civil Rights Act, right? Now, what Democrats do is they do soft-handed white supremacy. They engage in a more deceptive tactics. They even talk about our issues, but they never talk about solutions. Even when those emails got leaked, Hillary had an email that said, talk to black groups, and she mentioned black people specifically, like Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. And she said, offer no solutions, offer no policy. That's actually something that it's called benign neglect. They've been doing that for years, right? That's what the Democrats participate in. So they engage in deceptive tactics to get the black vote.
Yeah.
And so if how much Jay-Z as that to why they would be, that's why I can't just say, oh, they coons. We know for damn sure Republicans don't have our interest in mind at all.
Hold on. So basically, when I'm
Republican with a Nazi in the White House, that's some coon shit.
Okay, so my point is this. So basically what you're saying, or what my question is this. So basically what you're saying is they could plead ignorance, because you just thoroughly and eloquently explain how Democrats don't give a fuck about us, right? We all agree on that, right? And then you turn around and excuse the people for leading us to that
I didn't
party.
excuse them. I'm saying we don't know. It's different. When you being deceived, it's different than when you know for sure that.
You think
somebody
Jay-Z
got
doesn't
their
know
mind.
that? Hold on, time out. So if you could Google Hillary Clinton's racist remarks. I just did it today. I was fucking
Yeah.
killing people on Hillary today. She's racist as fuck, right? We know that she's just as racist as Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
You
Her and
could
Trump was
now
friends
it's
for a long time.
you see, it's 2018, so you could look up her husband's policy of the 3 strikes law, and you can't tell me shit and tell me that shit wasn't directly geared
But did
to.
Jay-Z and Beyonce look it up? Like they know business and they know music business and all
You
this
excusing
stuff.
them, Roderick.
That don't mean
You
no.
excusing them.
I'm not giving excuses. I'm not giving excuses. They can be coons. They could be coons. What I'm saying is I don't know what they know, because I know a lot of black folks that don't know about the whole super predator remarks and stuff. They still don't know right now. They can look it up, like you said. They don't know. They're not interested in finding it out because they don't believe it. They don't know.
But ignorance isn't an excuse, and it's different. And it's a difference between.
Ignorance is
It's
an
not.
excuse. When we talking
Oh,
about
it's willfully.
Koonye
They're
did,
willfully being
like,
ignorant, though. That's the point,
when we
because
talking
they're.
about somebody being a coon, right? A
They're
coon is
cooning.
somebody who actively undermines black society.
That's Roderick. That's cooning. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't excuse it. You can't disguise it. If you go read anything from Malcolm X back in the 60s when he was talking about white liberals, he would tell you he would talk about black people that was pushing people towards white liberals in the Democratic Party. He would call them coons. They're the same. It's the same shit. So you can't excuse it. I don't care how you slice
You
it.
saying something different than what I'm
Roderick,
saying.
are you saying the fact that people don't understand it means that they're not cooning because they don't understand that they're cooning?
Right.
You can't be an accidental coon.
If somebody truly don't understand the politics, like if you've been deceived into, if you think something is for black people and you think you're doing something for black people and you don't know, that's different than we should follow this nigga.
I can understand what Roderick is saying. Like that's kind of fair. If people, it's because sometimes people aren't willfully ignorant. They just don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it takes a generation for people to figure out that these people mean you no good. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you know you can't go to your grandparents and tell them that something that they believe in the Bible isn't what it is. You cannot tell them, you cannot tell a black woman that's 75 years old that paying tithe isn't what she should be doing. Because she gonna be like, whoa, since when? You can't. So some people, they're stuck in that box, and that's where they are, and they, like you said, they've been deceived. So I kind of give them a pass a little bit. I don't necessarily want to say Kanye is cooning. I want to say that Kanye is trying to play a game that he's really not equipped to play. You can't go in there and try to play the game their way, because you can't play the game their way, because no matter how much money Kanye has, his money isn't controlled by.
He's still black. He's still black.
Yeah,
Let me introduce something to y'all though. Let me see what y'all think about this other thing.
Hold on, wait, let me get this point.
Okay, I'm waiting.
His money is based in 2 things: entertainment and clothing. Like that's his main drive. You can't have a conversation with people whose money comes from oil, water, gas, travel, and actual industry that ain't going nowhere. Having a conversation with that dude, they looking at your money like, I'll give it 100 years and it'll be done.
Who has that? But who was he having a conversation with in that room where they was getting that money like that? Because Trump get his money from.
Well, I'm just saying that. Well, Trump for one, at least his is in building. You know what I'm saying? Now his daddy really made the money. We know that. Well, no, his daddy really made the money. But what I'm saying is, Trump comes from money that was already there before him. Kanye's money right now is based on one thing. Until it's based on infrastructure, it's kind of still hard to have that conversation with those guys. So he's talking about Adidas and all this stuff. Yeah, but they looking at you like, that's not gonna quite cut it. And he thinks that it will, but I don't think it will. I don't think he can have those conversations yet.
Do you guys think that Kanye West is coming from a genuine place, or do you think that he has a manipulative plan at hand? Do you guys think that he's coming from his heart, or do you think that he has a motive that really has nothing to do with what he's talking about?
I definitely think it's coming from his heart, 100%.
I think he's genuine.
I think it's a lot of heart, but then it's a little bit of business in there. Just a little bit of, I want to make a little bit of money for myself. Just a little bit.
Go ahead, Roger. What you think?
Okay. I don't think he's genuine, which goes into why I think he's Koonye. Kanye West, if anybody's been paying attention to him for, any long length of time, Kanye West has been in the room with people like Mark Zuckerberg, Ralph Lauren, things like that. People that are at the top of their industries, and he's expressed his desire to have the kind of power that they have. He's expressed like how Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't give him certain information. He found out that Mark Zuckerberg was giving that same information to this other white guy.
Right.
But it was almost like he wouldn't admit that this was hitting. He wouldn't admit that ceiling is because of white. He got money. He got he even got a white, but he don't know. He's acting like he don't know why he's hitting that ceiling, and he don't want to admit this is white supremacy. And I believe his whole motive is this whole you can't fight hate with hate and all this bull. Like he's not doing nothing brand new. Like he's not coming from this wildly new perspective. He's doing some shit that don't work, and he's trying to see if he can acquire some power, maybe not political, or maybe political, because he did say he wanted to run. Like people are saying he's dead serious about running for president in 2020. But
I'm voting for Kanye if he run for president. By the way.
Oh shit!
I'm not.
Hell no.
Would you vote for Kanye?
I'd rather have Kanye in the building
and become the nominee.
Now he's not gonna be a Republican. Kanye already said he would run on Bernie Sanders' platform. First of all, second of all, if Kanye runs for president, he said that. You can look it up. He said he's running on Bernie Sanders' platform. That's first thing. Second thing, I'd rather have Kanye in there than Obama and fucking Trump than Hillary. I'd rather have him in there than any of them motherfuckers. I don't care how crazy he is. At least you can talk to the nigga. At least he might do something crazy that just like help You know for a fact Trump ain't gonna do shit that helps us. You know for a fact Hillary wasn't gonna do nothing that helps us. We already saw Obama not do shit to help us. We already saw Bush do nothing to help. We already went through this shit. We already know it's getting worse. Wealth inequality is getting worse in this country. It's not getting better.
He's gonna get to help us because I know Trump is helping people. Fuck that shit.
He's helping the 1%. He's helping the top. He's helping Kanye West. He's helping Dave Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle said.
It's also economic problem. It's not black and white, man. Like it's all about the money. That's why he's up there promoting and trying to do what he won't do. He won't be able to let him get a piece of the pie. He ain't worried about black people either.
Let me ask you guys a question.
I definitely agree with that. I do think that it's a money play in part of it. I think part of it, yeah. Kanye is from Chicago. He probably genuinely want to see some better stuff for black people. But I definitely think that at the end of it, he wants, like my man was saying, he wants to have access to what they have access to. He wants to know what they know. Yeah. And they sitting there looking at him like, we ain't telling you shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, their arms are folded on it. Like, why would they? What incentive do they have?
Hey, can I ask y'all this though? Can I ask the panel this? I just want to ask this question real quick.
Go ahead,
out of all the rich, really rich, wealthy black people in hip hop specifically, right? I'm gonna go to the genre. So I'm gonna go to the Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, the Dr. Dre's, the whoever, the Beyonce, whoever, like the top 10 whatever black movers and shakers in that business, right? Out of them, who do you think is the most genuine person out of those people? Like, if you want to name the top 10, but like I said, out of like Diddy and Dre and Jay and all that, who do you think the most genuine person is?
None of
Not one.
I don't judge people. Hell, I don't know. I couldn't
The
tell you.
most genuine ain't gonna be in the top 10. You can't make there's a study out there that says in order for you to make a certain amount of money in your lifetime to get to that level, there's a certain level of sociopathy that you got to be embedded with. You got to be a little bit of a sociopath.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, because you got to be willing to step on some people, bypass some people. You got to be a cutthroat at a certain level. When you find the ones who ain't cutthroat, go listen to some of the things. I'll give you a good example. Right now, you can go listen to Ludacris's last 2 albums and listen to what he says about the industry. And listen to what he tells artists what they should do. Listen to what he tells artists about branding. A lot of artists are doing it now, but they're not going to pay Ludacris money because he's telling people how to be free financially and do their thing. So if that's what you're talking about, you're not going. That's genuine. Like, that's a person who's genuinely saying, hey, y'all need to listen to what I'm saying. So nah, Kanye ain't speaking like that. Jay-Z, yeah, he mentioned it, the little song last time he talked about some money and he'll mention something, but he's a mogul at heart. You know what I'm saying? And when you're a mogul at heart, you're not genuinely down like that. No way. I don't think so.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that a lot of people are just genuinely mad because he's even talking to Donald Trump? Is that part of the problem?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Petty ass black people.
Yep.
What'd you say, B? You said
It's the petty ass black people, man. Black people. We don't want to talk to nobody. Yeah, we trying to do what they did with Obama, so we don't want to talk to nobody. When it came to Obama, everybody was like, "Fuck him." Oh, excuse me, my language. Oh, I forgot you, sister. Lord, I apologize. But yeah, nobody wanted to support him and back him. He couldn't gun with the Republicans because they were choosing to fight against everything he did. So we want to do the same thing to Trump, and that's where Kanye comes in, and I actually kind of agree with that. He's like, nah, I don't know about all the love. You got to fight hate with love, and ain't nobody going through all that. But to talk to somebody, you have to sit down at a table and talk to them. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I can't even get black people to agree on nothing. So how you gonna have Kanye go in there and say something? Like, we can't get black people to agree on the top subjects that we need to reform ourselves. So it's gonna be a big fight. Like, we worry about Kanye. I wish we had this platform right now where we were actually talking about how we can make a change in an effect in the black community. But we arguing about Kanye and why he up there talking about that. So yeah,
No.
I don't know.
All right, while you still up, what's a change that we can make in the black community? Don't think we can't pivot and talk about that too. It's all in one. What's something you think we can do to change things?
I got a question.
Stop voting Democrat. Stop voting Democrat.
Well, that's what Kanye said, and everybody hates him. Let me ask
Stop voting Democrat.
Let me ask you guys another question. I've heard a lot of things. Do you guys think that Democrats are encouraging that at Kanye?
Are they what?
Man, all I'm saying is the same bird. It's the same bird, two different wings, y'all. Like, when we really gonna start talking the real shit? Like,
no.
We talking about Democrats, Republicans.
This is what I think we should do.
Can I explain this real quick? I'm not saying vote Republican. I'm just so everybody understands, by default, fuck every Republican. By default, like, we already know not to trust them, right? So I don't even like having that conversation. I'm not on that yay shit like we should vote Republican. No, we shouldn't. Republicans are fucking terrible, right? For everybody, Republicans are terrible. Even poor white people, they're only good for the top 1%. Specifically, that's who they favor, right? I'm saying stop voting fucking Democrat, though, as well, and start voting third party, start voting Green Party, start voting just random motherfuckers. That's just, you just find a person that you like. Because people always think that if you go look at the ballot, there's always 5 or 6 people on the ballot. It's hardly ever just 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, for I'm talking about for different positions in government. If you vote locally, it be independent people running all the time. Vote for them. Stop being so fucking afraid to vote your conscience and vote your conscience. Voting really doesn't matter. I right now in this how it is constructed right now, it doesn't really help shit. But the main reason it doesn't help shit is because it's rigged, 1, but 2, we never vote our fucking conscience. We look, for an example, during last election, everybody was like, I heard tons of people, I don't know if they was just paying lip service to this or what. I heard tons of people saying, just vote Hillary because we don't want Trump, right? And people were admitting to me that they didn't like Hillary. But there were 4 candidates on that ballot. There was Gary Johnson, and there was Dr. Jill Stein on there as well, right, running for president. So that's 4 candidates. Why not? And I'm not suggesting vote for Gary Johnson or whoever. I'm just saying, why not vote for somebody else? Why do we always fall into this fucking trap that we just keep we just keep this shit going by feeding? We just keep feeding the monster because they keep giving us that illusion that it's only 2 parties. There's only 2 people running. And lastly, let's create our own party. Black people need to create our own fucking party. And I know there is a black party out there. So if it is, we need to support it, or we need to create our own, or you need to get active in your city and do that shit. Because this Democrat Republican shit, like Miss B just said, it's the same. It's 2 birds. It's 2 wings on the same fucking bird, man. Stop voting Democrat. Stop, and for sure don't ever vote Republican. But stop voting for both parties. That will help a lot. I don't know if it'll change anything overnight, but it'll help a lot. Trust me.
All right, let me say something. Go ahead, Roderick, because you wanted to get in. Go ahead, Roderick.
Okay, so, well, I guess I'll address what he was just talking about first. Okay, so my idea is that we should use our votes more like currency. Like we should, not even that we need to have a party or anything like that. I just think we need to start, instead of them coming to a church and doing the electric slide and we say, oh, he invited to the barbecue or some bullshit. Like, we need to be like, okay, you did mention about the cop that got away with murder. What you finna do about it? Like, what's the policy you finna make that's going to punish white supremacy? What are we gonna do about it? Like, that's the type of stuff we need to start asking, because they immediately go to the church, they immediately start dancing and they doing the Dougie and all that bullshit.
Pull that hot sauce out their purses.
Right, hot sauce in the bag.
Yep. And so my thing is we're always put in a situation where, hey, don't vote for that guy because he's more racist than I am. Like, no,
right.
What you finna do? What you finna do for us?
It's always a lesser of 2 evils. It's never something that you can absolutely say, I really want to mess with that guy. It never happens.
All right, let me say this.
But on that note, I don't even think us voting really. I think we should be focused on getting money. That's really what we should be doing, because Asians, they don't have all these votes, but they able to get some shit done for them.
They buy politicians. They buy politicians. Let me ask you guys a question. I've heard a lot of people say that Donald Trump is using Kanye to get the black vote. What do you guys think about that?
Donald Trump ain't never getting the black vote.
He don't need the black vote.
When white politicians do things to show that they're not racist, they're not doing that for us. They're doing that for other white people so they can feel good about voting for them. So they can be like, he's not racist.
Yep.
Well, what did he do that was racist? Like, nigga, he got the Central Park six in jail for 20 years. That's what he did. What the fuck?
All right,
he denied black people renting this building. What
housing. Let me ask you guys another question, and these are questions that I've had people ask me throughout the week. Donald Trump is going in there talking about he's a Republican wearing the MAGA hat, but in his rant, he didn't say anything but stuff that was Democratic policy. How come people was missing the fact that he's acting like a Republican, talking like a Democrat?
He wasn't talking like a Democrat. Free Larry Hoover. I never heard a Democrat say Free Larry Hoover in my life. I've never heard it. I've never heard that. I've never heard a Democrat talk about reparations.
I haven't heard anybody say
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
I never heard that. I definitely never heard it I definitely never heard it said in the White House. I definitely never heard somebody say Free Larry Hoover in the White House. That was crazy.
What party
Never.
supports? What party supports prison reform?
Democrats support prison reform on paper.
Only progressive.
On paper,
No
right.
establishment. No establishment, Democrat or Republican, supports prison reform.
That's not true because Obama was on paper supported prison reform. So you could say that. I know you are right as far real. I agree, Roger. Real prison reform, no establishment Democrat is on on record like let's really fix this shit, right? But they do like act like it's a part of the platform. Some you know what I'm saying? Like they do feign some like fake interest in it for sure.
Like if you pardon people, that's not actually prison reform. That's just, hey, let me get y'all out of jail real quick. But we still doing business.
There's no
Just,
reform.
y'all probably
Just
gonna
letting
end up
some
back
people
over
out.
here anyway.
No, but look, hold on. But what happened in California? They changed the drug laws and they let out all those people who had what I'm saying, like for marijuana. It ain't just the president that's doing it. Governors are doing it. Democratic governors are doing it. So it is a smattering of Democratic whatever, right? I agree with that, like Tyrone was saying, if that's the question. But in reality, though, no fucking Democrat is talking about bringing jobs back to the black community specifically. No Democrat is talking about doing anything specifically for the black community. That I would just say that right there. I don't know any Democrat.
One of the things Kanye he said this, but this is the most like for him to be a businessman. When he said this, I lost a little bit of respect for his business mind, right? Again, I go back to the whole Adidas thing. He wants to get factories talking about factories for Levi's in the U.S. and the factories for shoes. Listen, Adidas will be $300 if you got to bring factories into the United States for people to actually go work in them. If you pay people minimum wage to work in a factory to make Levi's and Adidas, you will be paying $300 for shoes and jeans. So
why do you think? What makes you say that? Based on what?
What it costs overseas to actually what they're paying pennies on the dollar to produce shit overseas what they would otherwise produce.
But Manuel, that's not how it's supposed to work. How it's supposed to work is this. Hold on, I'll tell you how it's supposed to work. So you're right, it costs less money to make the shit overseas, right? But
like 100% less.
Yeah, the CEO will make less money. It doesn't mean they have to raise the price of anything. It just means it cuts.
That's where I was going. In that room with Trump, did you see Trump's face when he mentioned that shit? Did you watch what his face did? He was like, because he knows, like, bro, what you're talking about is not going to happen. Like you said, if the CEOs ain't making that much money, then that money filters down. But Trump's sitting there like, bro, that's not going, and that's what I'm saying. That's where that conversation he's trying to have with those dudes, he can't quite have that conversation with those dudes because they're not listening from where he's talking from.
Well, I don't know. I just watched Trump go ahead and get into it with China, knowing full well that everything is going to cost twice as much.
Yep. Here,
what's wrong with that though? What's wrong with it if they do the jobs here? That's what he's trying to do. What's wrong with it? He's trying to get jobs to come to America. He wants the jobs to come here. You're gonna have to pay Americans more, like Manuel said. So what's wrong with that in the end? And then you get paid more, and then you gonna take down.
That's not going to work. What he's doing with the tariffs and all, because all they're gonna do is put tariffs back on us, and it's gonna cost.
But what are we sending out?
But hold on, but time out. But if you don't, let's talk about macroeconomics real quick. On a macro level, China will hurt first. It ain't about will it hurt us, because it is hurting us. But you see what Trump did. As soon as he put the tariffs on China, he gave Middle America $2 trillion or $2 billion. He gave him some money to hold him over, right? Because he knew it was costing the farmers money. So he said, all right, look, boom, we gonna hit y'all with the money. China doesn't have American money. They're not nowhere near as rich as America.
Right.
So him putting the sanctions on China, yes, China will fold first. I guarantee you, China will fold first, not America. And I'm not bigging up Trump at all. I'm just saying it's a shrewd terrible fucking business move, but it's probably gonna work to
This
some
is
degree.
why China has opened up new
Fully.
trade routes. They're trying to make it where they don't got to deal with us no more. Like this,
But they got it. They gonna always
it's
have
a
to deal
lot
with
of
us.
things going on.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. I'm getting a little bit confused. Let's go around. Prince, let's start with you. Do you agree with Kanye West? Yes, no.
That's a loaded ass question. Shit,
Or
man.
do you agree with them on some things and some things you don't agree with? Let me
Of course.
unload
Yes,
the question.
absolutely. You can't like the thing we have to stop doing is we have to stop feeling like we gotta fucking pick sides. Like it ain't a fucking art. Like it's like you could like some stuff he says and disagree. You could disagree with 90% of the stuff he says, but keep it 100 about the 10% that you agree with, right? And vice versa. Like I'm so like the problem. A big problem, not the problem, but a big problem we keep having in society is that we always feel like we have to fall on either side of the coin. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, dude, stop always feeling like you can't be, because I do this all the time, right? I'll tell somebody, like, I'll ask people who talk bad about Trump, right? Because I fucking hate Trump too, but I'll just ask them, why do they hate Trump? You know, especially when we talk about black people, because you know me, I'm normally only talking about black issues. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. I'm sorry to anybody that hears that. But as far as the black community, as far as it pertains to the black community, I'll ask them, like, what's going on? Why do you hate Trump? What policy has he put in place that's hurting the black community? And nobody has a fucking answer. Nobody can give me an answer. Then they instantly turn around and be like, oh, you support Trump. And I'm like, no, numbnuts. I'm just saying that if you're going to say that somebody is bad, you have to have a reason. It can't just be because you don't like him as a person, right? Just like, because the whole point I try to make when I say that is just like, if you want to sit here and say you like Bill Clinton and I ask you why and you can't fucking give me a reason why, then you just, oh, he was cool. And I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, these is presidents, dude. These ain't fucking, this ain't love and hip hop. These are people that enact policies that affect us every single day. So everything comes down to policy when we're talking about a politician. I don't care how they dance. I don't care how they talk. So I'm tired of picking sides. Like, I agree with some stuff Kanye says. I disagree mostly with his presentation. I don't even disagree with the shit he's saying, to be honest with you. I disagree mostly with the presentation.
And that echoes my sentiment. And that echoes my sentiment. It's the presentation that I don't care for with Kanye. It's like, if I didn't have to watch the video and I could have exited maybe I got 21 minutes and however many seconds, I could have condensed that to 15 minutes with the actual shit, not the rants, and just not looked at him and he'd have been all right with me. But he rants and he looks like a fool with that hat, like what's name saying with the red hat. It's like, bro, you gotta wear the red hat. What
wearing a swastika on his head.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. And similar to what my man is saying also, nobody falls 100% in line with everything that anybody says. Like, you got married people who've been together 60 years, they don't agree with everything that each other says. And you know, so that's the way it boils down for me too. There's a lot of stuff that I did agree with. There's some that I'm like, yeah, he's missing the boat on. But you know, and one other thing I want to say, somebody mentioned it earlier about the fact that he's having the conversation. It's not just black people who feel like the president has showed us such a gross representation that we shouldn't have a conversation with him. If anybody watches First Take, if you've ever listened to Max Kellerman talk, and that's a white man, that's a Jew, he absolutely says nobody should be sitting down and have a conversation with this man because of his decorum, because of how he represents, you know. So I understand where people come from with that. It's like, man, he paints such a picture. Why even have a conversation with him? Kanye said, forget it. I'll still have a conversation with him. So, you know, I mean, at least he did that.
What do you think, Roderick? Kanye or Koonye?
Koonye. See, we got to ask ourselves, okay, I think we do need to pick sides, but we need to pick our side. Like, that's what we're not doing. And I think that we need to ask ourselves two questions about what happened. Like, first of all, was that a meeting? Second, is Trump serious about any of those issues when
Nope.
he's chosen Kanye West to
Nope.
come have a meeting with him.
Is
So
anybody
if
in this
the
White
answer is
House?
no to
Is
both of
anybody
those,
in this White House focused on those issues?
Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Hold on, this
Exactly.
guy right
Ain't nobody
here.
write none of that down.
These two people, you
it,
guys might not know, but they've been focused on prison reform since the day they got in the White House. I'm just interjecting for some truth. But go ahead.
who is that?
That's Jared Kushner.
Melania and her creepy ass husband.
Yeah, that's Jared Kushner and
How
Ivanka.
have they been focused on jail reform? Prison
They've been trying to push it since they got in the White House. Jeff Sessions is blocking it, so they're at war. The two factions of the White House.
Wait.
It's
Well,
actually a
what
war
specific
going
thing
inside
are
them.
they trying to do? What's the
They're trying to
specific thing that they're trying to do?
They're trying to change mandatory sentencing and recidivism rate. And also what the meeting was actually for was giving second opportunities to people who get out of prison. And so, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just interjecting those things just so we'll have full context on what we're speaking on.
Right.
I appreciate that, Tyrone. That was good. That was a good drop right there.
So for me, what I would say is, if he's meeting with Kanye, I don't think he's serious. If the president, because look at who we're talking about. We're talking about Jared Kushner and the first lady.
No, that's his daughter. That's not his wife. That's his daughter. That's Jared Kushner's wife. Those are who they say.
Yeah, Ivanka.
They say those are the only two people he'll listen to.
I don't know why I thought that was the first lady. Yeah, Ivanka and Jared
She
Kushner.
white.
My thing is, what power do they actually have? They have positions. I know they have positions. I know they were appointed. I know Trump was practicing nepotism. But
They all do.
when you're talking about the people with the power to actually do something, when you got Attorney General and the whole DOJ involved, and then they just appointed Kavanaugh as a Supreme Judge. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we saying that they're serious? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to go to the table. I'm not against the meeting. What I'm saying is, we need to make sure this meeting is about something, or if it's real. That's why I don't really trip about the people that when Kanye's like, "Hey, you guys come with me." I feel like they shit and some photo ops, because Trump, he's getting ready for 2020. That's what's really happening right here, and that ain't for us. That's for his other. You know, you have people that voted for him that's like, well, I don't think he's racist. Like, really? Like, nigga, really? Like, but anyway, as far as picking sides, I think we need to pick our side, and we don't. I think the fact that we don't do that enough is why we get so divided on issues. We're always trying to be the most reasonable Negro in the room, and well, do you guys think we're doing this? We're putting a little much on it. Everybody else works as a group against us, and we tend to be split and then work against us too. And I just feel like we need to be on our side. And I feel like what Kanye did wasn't him being on our side.
But that flies in the face of the stuff you were telling me earlier when I was telling you with like if that's the case, then why can't you acknowledge that the motherfuckers that ain't on our side, who I was telling you ain't on our side, and you was like excusing them, like, they might not know. Pick a side then, right? Same thing, same rules apply across the board. But if you can make up an excuse for them, then why can't you do it with Ye? That's what I'm saying.
I don't follow. What I'm saying is, they didn't go and have this platform. They just kind of was there. And I'm like,
they did though. Go back. How many pictures do we have of Talib in the White House, Common in the White House, all these black entertainers in the White House? What the fuck happened? We had a black we had a black president.
That nigga was black. That's all it was. Like,
but you keep excusing it though. You keep just like you can't just keep like
they wasn't there to undermine black society. That's what I'm saying. They wasn't there like, hey,
of course they were there.
I know this about some bullshit, but y'all need to come do. No, I think they were being duped and deceived. What Kanye
just
is
like
doing, that's
Kanye.
different. That's different from being duped and deceived. That's different. That's different.
Hold on, time out.
Hey guys, let's go jump in this volcano. Like,
so Kanye has a mental.
From, hey guys, let's eat this food and it happened to be poison.
So Kanye has a mental disease. He has expressed this explicitly.
Bipolar
right?
don't make you a coon.
No, I know, but bipolar makes you say shit and act erratically for sure, right? So
He said that was a misdiagnosis. He said later on he found out that his bipolarism was a misdiagnosis. It was actually
okay. We know he got we know he has mental issues though. I don't know if it's bipolar or what. We know he has mental issues, right? Like we all can agree on that. So
yeah,
if
his mom died and all that stuff. I think that's
the
why
the only point I'm trying to make is I want to agree with you, right? I do. I really do. I want us to pick sides, right? Like in theory, it sounds good. Like, yeah, let's just pick sides. But if we gonna do that, then let's lay down the ground rules, right? If you ain't for us, you against us, whether it's on accident or on purpose. So if you're gonna sit here and excuse T.I. for going to the White House, and you're gonna excuse Common for going to the White House,
I'm not
and being
excusing
used as pawns and saying that, oh, maybe they didn't know
anything, but I can't say you a coon if you got deceived. I can say you a coon if you do some shit that actively undermines us. If you got deceived, because there's a lot. Because this is what I'm saying. Like, if you got whoever celebrity that said, "Hey guys, we need to vote for Hillary," I'm gonna say, "Why? Why should we vote for Hillary?" And then they'll probably say, "Well, she's trying to do stuff for us. She's meeting with Black Lives Matter or whatever, right?"
No, they just gonna say she's better than Trump.
Knowing what I know, I can say, well, that's not really true. I would have to break down that's not really true. But with Trump, there's no defense. There's nothing you can say. Oh, well, he's trying. No.
So you don't think none of these celebrities know the real platform of the Democrats? You don't think Jay-Z and Beyonce are knowledgeable enough to know what they're talking about?
It's crazy to think that they don't know. It's insane to think they don't know.
That are politically ignorant.
Nah, man. You're not about to convince me that Talib Kweli, that Common Sense, that T.I. You're not finna convince me that they don't.
Common Sense is definitely ignorant. Did you see when he went on Oprah?
My point
that man sounded like Kanye.
He's not ignorant. He's willfully ignorant. There's a difference. And I know Common Sense is willfully ignorant because Common sounds like a white liberal now. Just like Dave Chappelle sounds like a white liberal now. Just like Chris Rock sounds like a white liberal now. So all these people are willfully ignorant and allowing themselves to be used by the Democratic Party. And I'm not here for it. I'm not excusing it.
Well, if what you're saying is true, I would say, yeah, they coons then. If what you're saying, if they willfully joining along in the deception, I would say, yeah, they coons too. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite about this.
All right. Go ahead, Roger, finish up, and then I'm gonna ask one more question, and we're gonna round it off.
Go to sleep.
Okay. Well, yeah, like if I'm to believe that these people know the game like that and they participate in it, they are coons. But I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't even, and I'm not saying but as in, but they're not coons. I'm saying but as in, I don't follow the idea of Democrats are for us and Republicans are against us. I think they're both, you know, the same coin. They're definitely not, no, I don't think any politician is for it. That's why I'm of the mindset that black folks, we need to figure out how to get a economic base, because that I think that's the only way we're gonna actually be in this thing and start competing and get. Because I mean, like, you look at a lot of political groups and stuff exist, and they get their people to vote as blocks, and they have these super PACs and all this. Like, they do things to get tangibles, and we're always in a position where we're saying we're trying to vote for the least racist person, or they come and they start moonwalking and they got their buffer Negroes. Oh, that's why I pay attention to what Kanye said. I don't know if I mentioned this already. Kanye West is going to be used as a buffer Negro. They got these Negroes that they say is our voice and our view, and they put them in front of everybody. They actually don't talk to any of us. They just talk to them, and that's my concern, about all of this stuff. Just having
That's
these
been
little
happening
buffers.
forever.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. We actually, because of things like this, soapbox heroes and social media and things like this, we have a situation where we can talk amongst each other. That's why I think it's very important for us to pick our side and to be on code, so to speak.
I
To
am
be like
100% on code. I'm 100% on code. I think
right.
that every black person that shepherds black people into the Democratic or the Republican Party is fucking Koonye. Period. That's me. I'm stating that right now today. So 100%. I don't care if you're doing it on accident or on purpose. If you telling me to vote for Hillary, you Koonin. If you tell me to vote for Trump, you triple Koonin. Like, that's how it goes. Like, I'm straight up and down about that. Like, I'm tired of fucking us pussyfooting around and excusing Jay-Z because niggas like Jay-Z and niggas back to picking sides and yada, yada, yada. Because in niggas' hearts, we are Democrats. That's what I'm saying. Like, in our hearts, we're Democrats. Like, as a black people as a whole, right? In our hearts. Like, that's what it is, because our mama's mama was a Democrat, so we Democrats. So we got that shit passed down to us. And I get into these discussions with black people when I tell them that Obama didn't do shit for us, that we've been lied to by the Democratic Party for this whole time. We need to start our own fucking party, and we need to start from the ground up and build politically, and we need to start voting our conscience and stop being so afraid to vote our conscience. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a big part of it. We need to stop allowing these celebrities to manipulate us. And I for one am because the threat isn't Trump, to be honest with you. If you listen to Malcolm X, he talks all the time about the fox and the wolf. We aren't worried about the wolf. We can see the wolf coming a mile away. The wolf is the Republican Party. We can see him coming a mile away. We got fucking foxes. We sleeping with these motherfuckers. We thinking they dogs. We letting them in our houses and shit like that. We letting them in the chicken den, in the chicken coops and shit. You know what I'm saying? We just allowing them in. You got black people telling us, they at the gate telling us, yeah, vote Hillary, yeah, vote Kamala Harris. She looks like you. She must think like you. She must feel, no, nigga, fuck Cory Booker, fuck Kamala Harris, fuck Obama, fuck all of them, dude. Fuck all them celebrities that shepherding us into these parties. We need to turn our backs on them when it comes to politics. I still listen to their music. I still fucks with Jay-Z. I still fuck bump T.I. You know what I'm saying? I still laugh at Chris Rock jokes. But DL Hughley, they all sound like white liberals though. All of them. If you listen to them, they all are white liberals. When whatchamacallit died, who was it the senator or the what's his name that just died? The dude from Arizona. McCain. When John McCain died, y'all go back and go look at DL Hughley, because I follow all of them. Go look at DL Hughley's IG page. Go look at Chris Rock's, and go look at Dave Chappelle's IG page. All them niggas was paying homage to fucking John McCain. I was like, what fucking universe? DL Hughley, the same motherfucker that go on every news channel and tell you how bad white people are and all that shit, right? This nigga over here, oh man, John McCain, rest in peace. He was a maverick. What? Nigga, please, man, get the fuck out of here. When you see that, when these niggas start showing us who they are, we need to start turning our backs on them. And same goes for Kanye, because when Kanye, I was defending Kanye up until like 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't defend him no more. There's no defense for the shit he's doing. But I still like I said before, I think that some of the stuff he said was cool, and a lot of stuff he said was not. Period, point blank. I think it's 50-50, and I think his presentation is 100% fucking terrible.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys one final question, and then we're going to go ahead and round it off. I'm going to ask you, Manuel. Let's see. I got a new picture in the background since we're talking about Koonye. Is that Koonye?
Snoop is the biggest coon.
Snoop Dogg, if you want to see it. It's Snoop Dogg in a blue rag suit in the Make America Crip Again, with a Make America Crip Again hat. Is that Koonye?
Now that is an embarrassment. That's an
That's an
embarrassment.
embarrassment.
Like no, you ain't necessarily cool, but you are just no, you are actually the Joker. You are the clown. You know, the coon is a pet. No, you are the jester when you decide to dress up in a damn crib. That's just the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I just had to ask that. You guys want to give your final thoughts on this Kanye situation? Manuel, should we listen to Kanye? Or no. How about this be the last question? As a community, should we throw the man away?
This is what I think. I think his heart is probably in the right place, and I think he's looking for a little bit of a business incentive. And so I don't say necessarily throw him away. I just say we ain't necessarily got to listen to him when he's talking about anything political. As far as listening to anybody that's a celebrity, an athlete, or anything when it comes to politics, how to vote, who to vote, when somebody finally is speaking on how they themselves, whether celebrity or athlete, are making a way for black people as a collective to break into infrastructure and own infrastructure. That's the shit that pays forever. That means if we owned the waterworks, I mean, think about Monopoly. What was the best thing to own it on a Monopoly board? It was actually the railroads and the water. It wasn't the property. I need the railroads, I need the water, I need the power, I need the infrastructure. So when we get to that point where we're pushing us getting into infrastructure and then that being the thing that supports us as a community, that's who I'll listen to. Until then, I'm not listening to nobody at all.
All right. What do you think, Prince? Should we throw the guy away? Should we listen to him? What should we do?
I think we should listen to everybody. Like you want to hear. I listen to people who I don't agree with all the time. You know what I'm saying? You have to listen to everybody. But also when I say that, I'm gonna say that with a little advisory note next to it. Make sure your mind is strong. Make sure you are capable of parsing bullshit, from real shit. I don't suggest that for everybody because it's a dangerous thing. A lot of people could be swept up in it. But if you trust yourself and you trust your judgment, then yeah, I think you should listen to everybody. I think we should listen to Kanye. I'm not for throwing away any black person. That's just how I feel. If you ain't raped somebody, if you ain't touched on no little kids, if you ain't R. Kelly nobody, if you ain't did no shit like that, I'm fucking with you. As soon as you come back to us, I welcome you in back with open arms, because no matter what, you still a nigga, you still black, right? And you can't never turn your back on that shit. You can't never white your skin out. You can't. I don't give a fuck. Michael Jackson, he looked like a white woman on TV, but you saw that nigga in person, he was still black. You know what I'm saying? He just looked like a weird black person. So you can never we can never ever throw away black people. And I want to say this with that, we also got to stop inviting quote unquote white people to the barbecue. That shit is fucking over, dude. Like, that shit is so annoying. It was funny for like a week. Stop that shit. We not trading Kanye. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trading Kanye for no white person. I'd rather have Kanye than 10 fucking white people. 10 of the most progressive white people. Nigga, he's still Ye. This the same nigga that got on national television and said George Bush don't give a fuck about black people. That's the same Ye. So he can come back to us. We just gotta be a little patient and maybe we need to show him a little bit more love and not show him so much disdain and hate. You know what I'm saying?
All right. With that being said, oh yeah, Manuel, Kanye or Koonye?
No. Oh no. You already got my take on it. Like I said, I'm pretty much in agreement with my man right there. Like I said, I can't throw him away. You know what I'm saying? I can stick with him. And when I say don't listen, I don't mean don't listen as far as being informed. I mean, I ain't gotta take his advice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
You don't have to heed. You don't have to heed, but you should hear.
Right. I'm not letting nobody tell me what move to make until they're telling me to make the move that I'm waiting on them to tell me. And until then, It won't happen in my lifetime. I know it won't. I highly doubt it.
All right, with that being said, I want to thank Roderick for coming on. Roderick, thank you for coming on. I was trying to get you to come on earlier. I know you had a time constraint and he came on. I really, really, really appreciate your point of view. My will, we got to get you back on more. Got to. Got
Yeah,
to.
just hit me up, man. Just hit me up. You know, like you did this time. Just give me a little advance time, and I usually can do something. You know what I'm saying? So just give me an advance time.
All right, and I want to tell Glow, thanks for coming on. B, thanks for coming on. P, you know I call you all the time. Like, P, we need you. P, thanks for coming on and giving us your perspective. Everybody in the comments, thanks for coming on. Aaron Charles, thanks for watching. Benita Long, that's B, thanks for watching. Troy Taylor, thanks for watching. Jim, thanks for watching. And I want to give a special thanks to Daryl Douglas II. He's my cousin. And he helps me a lot with the show. He's been helping me get a lot of people on the show. He's been helping me organize things. At this point in time, he is Soapbox Heroes, so I want to thank him. I want to thank my sisters, Erica, Ebony. They've been helping me with questions, the way to approach things, and the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to play the ending ads today because I'm right now working on some new ones. If you want your ads to be featured right here on Soapbox Heroes, let me know. We'll take care of it for Heroes. I am Tyrone Irvin. I will see you. I might see you tomorrow. I'm working on a sound off. We might have a sound off tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next week. Turn on your notifications when we come on so you can hear us, so you'll know what's going on. This has been Soapbox Heroes. I am Tyrone Irvin. I will check you guys out later. Have a wonderful